Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. How y'all doing today? Happy Valentine's Day. I know it's not Valentine's Day yet, but it is February, so let's go. I love this meta, absolutely love it. It's going to be different than previous years because, you know, they updated the season a lot last season, right? I mean, we had so many changes, which will affect a lot of metas, including this one. But there's still going to be a lot of familiar Pokemon if you've played the Love Cup previously, and a lot of new ones as well that you may have seen in like the Great League or Ultra League. So it's going to be really cool. I'm definitely going to be playing the Love Cup probably all week. Is this a 2-week meta? Probably, because they're probably going to have it running alongside Valentine's Day as well. Obviously, that makes sense. So I'm assuming it... I didn't check, but I'm assuming it extends into the following week as well. So it's probably a 2-week meta, but don't quote me on that because I did not check. But either way, Love Cup, let's go. Pink and red Pokemon are eligible. Some of these Pokemon you might be looking at, you might be like, yeah, most of them seem eligible, but some of them, I don't know. I'm looking at Tyrantrum, kind of, right? But either way, that's okay because... some of these Pokemon are going to be really cool, but let's go ahead and dive right into it. So for the S rank, we do have Lickilicky. This Pokemon is I would say probably the best Pokemon in this meta. Obviously, it wasn't previously in previous Love Cups because Rollout got a big buff last season. Body Slam was nerfed, but it's still a great bait move. Yeah, I mean, I do like Body Slam on Lickilicky for the Great League metas. In the Ultra League, I was actually running a Lickilicky with double nukes, so I was running Earthquake and Shadow Ball, but it's more tanky in the Ultra League. In the Great League, I do like the Body Slam, so you could bait, and then you could run Shadow Ball or Earthquake depending on your team. But yeah, I mean, fantastic Pokemon. You'll definitely see this a lot. Same with Miltank. Miltank is another rollout user. We're gonna see these are the two best Pokemon in the meta, so we'll definitely see both of them. Probably both of them on the same team, double rollout, which will be a team that we discuss later on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic, both of them. Absolutely love it. And then we have Galarian Slowbro. You could run Confusion. I would go Poison Jab. Yeah, I wouldn't go Confusion in this meta. I would go Poison Jab. And it's just going to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, not a lot of things are going to really be able to resist it if you think about it, right? Actually, I'm looking. I mean, maybe a couple, but most things are going to, at the very least, take neutral damage, if not super effective damage. So, going to be a great pick. And then we have Hisuian Electrode. This is a really good safe swap, I think. We do have a decent amount of fire types, so something to keep in mind. But, yeah, I think Hisuian Electrode might see some play. In fact, I think it will definitely see a lot of play. I've used this in the past, in the previous Love Cup as well, and I think it's a really good Pokemon. Clefable is new, actually, because it did receive Swift. I think it got Swift. It did get Swift with that big update, right? I think that was last season, I'm pretty sure. But great bait move. Of course, Fairy Wind also got buffed as well last season, so that's why Clefable is just so much better than it used to be. So what do you run? Swift, Moonblast, and then Fairy Wind as the fast move? I think so, on this Pokemon. And then we have a Lomomola. This has been around since Love Cup began, I think. It has Waterfall, and it's super tanky. So it's just a really good, safe Pokemon to run. Don't really have grass types to worry about. I mean, we have Hisuian Electrode, but for the most part, we really don't have it. It's going to be fantastic. A lot of fire types in this meta, so going to be a fantastic pick as well. I ran this a lot in so many Love Cups, and I'm going to do it again. Then we have Solrock. This is a new addition because it does have Psywave. I don't know if it got Psywave recently or if it's just good because Psywave was buffed last season. I don't know which one it is, but either way, Solrock is definitely going to be pretty fun to use if you're looking for a good Psywave user. Druddigon, so Druddigon with the Dragon Tail damage. So yeah, I mean, as long as it avoids fairy types, dragons need to avoid fairy types like Clefable. But if it does, I mean, that Dragon Tail damage is no joke. Absolutely fantastic, but it really does need to avoid fairies because even the charge moves, Night Slash and Dragon Tail, or Dragon Claw, excuse me, are resisted. So it needs to stay away from that Clefable, but if it does, I think it's going to be doing pretty good. And then we have Seeking. So Seeking is a triple legacy Pokemon. Poison Jab, Icy Wind, and Drill Run all are legacy, so it cannot learn those normally. You have to use an Elite TM. I don't mind using it in an Elite TM. The problem is I don't have a good one. I would gladly use 3 Elite TMs. I have plenty of Elite TMs. I'm a hoarder. I'm not gonna lie. So I would be more than happy to use it. But all mine is so bad. I've never gotten a good one. So if they ever have a spotlight hour for it or something, I'll play it. Maybe at some point, maybe I'll get a good one, and then I will invest in it. But I'm not going to invest in a really bad one. Not 3 elite TMs. I want at least a relatively decent one to invest in. That's my opinion. But I do think it will be really good. A rank. So we have some fire types in this meta, or in this tier, I should say. So Skeledirge is going to be the first one. Incinerate. We know how powerful that is. Magma does not have Incinerate, but it has Karate Chop. And yeah, it could be pretty good. I actually battled Magma, not a lot, but a decent amount of times earlier this season. I don't remember what meta it was, but it was actually a pretty good Pokemon. I can't remember the meta off the top of my head. But yeah, it was a pretty decent Pokemon. It wasn't like super common, but you definitely saw it. And then next up we have Lickitung. So for those that know, I mean, obviously Lickitung used to be super meta. It used to be on almost every team. It was so annoying to battle, so tanky. It still is tanky. But Body Slam was nerfed, which did affect Lickitung a lot. Of course, it has Lick, which still has a Lick, and then Power Whip, and then Body Slam. So that did affect Lickitung. You rarely see Lickitung now, and there's so many normal types, I guess, as well, in the Great League, which also affects Lickitung. But Lickitung used to be a great safe swap. It's funny? After the changes went into effect, the nerfs, I actually found 2 rank 1s within days of each other. Literally just randomly found 2 rank 1 Lickitungs in the wild. So I still have them, but I was using a rank 7 like before when I was running Lickitung, like before, like when it was meta. But yeah, so like for this meta, I do think it might be pretty good. We do have other normal types like Licky and Miltank that it has to watch out for, and opposing Lickitung. But I do think Lickitung could actually come back for this meta and be pretty good just because of how tanky it is. Then we have a couple more Incinerate users, Talonflame and Turtonator. Talonflame has to watch out for rollout. It's double weak to it. We all see that in the Great League with Dunsparce, right? So I do think it's going to be a good Pokemon, but the rollout users are really going to keep it in check. It needs to avoid those. And same with Turtonator. I mean, it's a fire type, but it's not double weak to it. It's still single weak. It still doesn't want to see it. And then we have Ariados. Ariados technically doesn't want to see rollout either. I just love Ariados, though. I think it's a great pick. Even in Great League. I just love this Pokemon. The B rank, we do have Scrafty. So Scrafty could be a lot of fun. This Pokemon has Counter. I'm trying to remember because it's been so long. Ever since they nerfed Counter last season, I never see Scrafty, but I do think it could make a comeback for this meta. So Counter, it also has Power Punch and Foul Play, but it also has Thunder Punch, which was a new move added not too long ago. I think. But again, I'd never used it because I think this was after the nerf. Maybe it was before the nerf, but you still didn't want Thunder Punch on Scrafty. But I used to use this in the Ultra League. Scrafty used to be so good in the Ultra League. I actually hit Legend a couple times in the Ultra League with Scrafty, but now it's just like a Pokemon that you just never see just because of the counter nerf. Rightfully so because of how good it was. And then we have Corsola. Okay, this is an interesting one. It has Bubble and then has a couple of rock moves. Is it Rock Blast, Power Gem? I don't remember. I think it's a couple of rock moves. I don't think it's worth I do think Corsola is actually pretty good for this meta, but it is an XL Pokemon. And I don't think it's worth building because even if you have a good one, it's better to use the XL candy that you have for Corsola on the Galarian version because that's good in the Open Great League. It's amazing in the Open Great League, whereas this one's probably only going to be decent in the Love Cup. Not even great, just decent. It's pretty good, but something to keep in mind. But if you do have more than enough XLs and you built one, maybe you have one built, then by all means, go for it. By all means, go for it. And then we have Magmortar. Okay, another fire type that we might see occasionally. Could be fun. Could be fun to see a Magmortar plus Magma team. This also has Karate Chop, right? I think. I've never used Magma or Magmortar, I don't think. I may have used them for just after Legend, just to goof around and things. I'm not sure. Alright, then we have Medicham. Medicham used to dominate. Before Annihilate was released, Medicham was the premier fighting type, right? And then obviously Counter was nerfed, of course, too, which affected it. But Annihilate plus Counter nerf affected Medicham, as well as the Poliwrath buff affected Medicham as well, because they were just so much better. Medicham's just so tanky though, but I do think it could be useful in this meta as long as it avoids the fairy types, especially since we have the 2 really good rollout users, right? We have the Licky and the Miltank, which are both weak to fighting types like Scrafty or Medicham. So you could maybe try a Scrafty plus Medicham team. That could be pretty interesting, actually. And it could work well. And then you would need an answer to like fire type, so you could run a rollout, use it in the lead. That could be pretty fun. Or you could run like Galarian Slowbro just because you want an answer to fairy types too, like the Clefable. Then we have Tyrantrum with Dragon Tail, so another Dragon Tail user, I think. Wait, this has Charm, doesn't it? Doesn't it have Charm? I think I'm actually... I know you can't see. I'm actually going on my phone to see if it also has Dragon Tail. Maybe it has both. Maybe it has both. Let's check. Okay, so PV Poke recommends Dragon Tail, so I think it has Charm as well. So yeah, I would go with Dragon Tail on Tyrantrum if you're going with it. If you're going with Charm, I mean, there's Wigglytuff, but I mean, yeah, I would go with Dragon Tail. I think that makes the most sense. And then we have Cresto. So Cresto maybe might see some play, and then Bruxish. They recommend Confusion on Bruxish. It also has Bite, but yeah, I'd go with Confusion. Other options, we do have Magcargo, which is another Incinerate user. I think we do have better ones to use if you're going with an Incinerate user. Then we have Milotic. Milotic is another Dragon Tail user. It also has Waterfall as well. I remember using this in previous Love Cups as well. So could be pretty fun to use, but if you're going Dragon Tail, it's not going to benefit from the same type attack bonus like Tyrantrum would or Druddigon. But it is pretty tanky, so if you want to go maybe Waterfall or something on it, that could be pretty cool. Wigglytuff is a Charm user. And then we have Wormadam Trash. This is another one I've used in previous Love Cups. Levantis, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see this too much. So many fire types. So we'll see. And then Crocodile. So Crocodile is an interesting one. It has Mudslap, and of course Mudslap was buffed last season. So it could see some play. The problem is Crocodile is actually very difficult as of right now to get for the Great League. I think you have to like trade with like a low level account that happened to get one in order to get like a Sandile that could evolve into Crocodile for the Great League. I also think it was in like some sort of special or timed research, but I don't think it was globally released. I think that was like exclusive somewhere. I could be wrong, could be totally wrong. The Univitor is coming up. I know it's not in the wild, but I think there's a way to get Sandile as well. So it is maybe soon we'll be able to get one. That will be like after this meta, but maybe we'll be able to get one for the Great League, which could be pretty cool. Then we have Chansey, everyone's favorite Pokemon. So Chansey, a while ago they actually nerfed one of Chansey's moves. Chansey has bad moves. Chansey does not have a good move, but they had nerfed it just because, was it Pound? I don't remember what move they nerfed, but they nerfed a move it's just not a good move, period, just for Chansey. Funny enough. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just so bulky. Obviously, it could take hits for days. I've seen this in the previous Love Cups. Listen, I have a hundo. I have enough XLs ahead of Community Day. I'm not going to be using Chansey. There's no way I'm using Chansey. But it's going to be super tanky. So if you want to go for timeout wins, that is a strategy or something. Which Chansey does that best. I don't think the fighting types like Scrafty and Medicham will be super common. I think you'll definitely see him. So Chansey might do really well here. I'm just being honest with you. I think Chansey probably will do pretty good. And then we have Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime could be another good one to use. I mean, it really depends if you want to use Mr. Mime or not. Like, the thing about Mr. Mime is it has Psywave, which is pretty good. Solar Lock is better, but maybe if you want to consider double Psywave teams, that could be pretty fun. Then we have Beware. Beware has Shadow Claw. I think it has Shadow Claw, Stomp, and Superpower, right? I think so. I think that's the moveset you want. I don't think this one's going to be that common, but I might actually try it just for fun. Why not? And then we have Quadrant. Then we have the regular Electrode, and then Slowbro with Water Gun. So a couple other Pokemon to use, but the Pokemon I think we're going to see the most are going to be from the S, A, and B tier. I think so. Moving on to the solid team options. So for the first team, it's going to be the double rollout team with Lickilicky and Miltank. I do think we'll see double rollout teams quite a bit. I think it's going to be a really good team. Now, when it comes to those teams, obviously those two Pokemon are normal types. Their only weakness is fighting. So you're not going to want to battle like Medicham and Scrafty. So you need an answer to that. Galarian Slowbro I think is a pretty good answer because Galarian Slowbro resists the fighting type damage from them. So I think that would be pretty good. I mean, do not run Confusion, because if you run into a Scrafty, the whole team gets walled by it. I don't think Scrafty... I mean, I don't know. We'll see if it's going to be relevant, super relevant. But I think Poison Jab is a good way to go. Obviously, the other Pokemon, you could go with a Fire type, which resists counter as well, or fighting type damage as well. That could be something, but I put Slowbro on this team. I think the double rollout team is definitely going to be really good. The next team is going to be Double Dragon, so Double Dragon Tail with Tyrantrum and Druddigon. I like this a lot, and this is actually a team I want to try. You need something for Fairy, though, like Clefable, Wigglytuff, because obviously the back line really has no play against Fairy types. So I put a Poison type in the lead. Again, you could go with a Fire type. I put the Galarian Slowbro in the lead. If you want to go with Fire type, like Talonflame, or Skeledirge or something, or even Turtonator, you could do that. The reason I didn't do that is mainly for the rollout users, because I know how common Lickilicky and Miltank are going to be. So I put the Galarian Slowbro there. I think this is going to be a fun team. I think this is going to be a good one. I'm going to actually personally try it. Next up, we have the Triple Legacy Sea King in the lead with the Safe Swap Lickilicky. I think it's going to be a pretty good Safe Swap in this meta. And then Turtonator, I put... Obviously, there's other Fire types. You don't need Turtonator, but... Yeah, no, I mean... The Sea King, I think is just fantastic. Again, I'm not going to build it because I don't have a good one, so I'm not going to run this team, but I do think this Pokemon is going to be good. If you happen to lose the lead, the safe swap is going to be Lickilicky. Right? Now, yeah, so yeah, we'll have to see how this team does, but if anyone wants to try this team, let me know how it goes. Next up, we have another team, Alomomola, with the safe swap, Hisuian Electrode, and then Clefable in the lead. The back line does not appreciate Fire types. If you happen to, let's say you safe swap the Electrode, and Talonflame comes in, at least you'll be able to get a shield because you have Wild Charge. Maybe you can make 2 Wild Charges if you shield once, I'm not sure, but... You got that going for you, but you do have to lure out a Fire type. And then, at the very least, if a Fire type comes in, you'll at least be able to make the Wild Charge, so you'll at least be able to get a shield back. And if they don't shield it, you'll do a tremendous amount of damage, possibly KOing it, right? So I think it's a great safe swap. And of course, the Alomomola does really well against Fire types with the Waterfall damage. Next up, we do have Solrock with Psywave. I want to try this one so bad. And then we have Lickilicky and Medicham. So again, Lickilicky being a fantastic safe swap in my opinion. Scrafty will do pretty well against this team. Obviously, Scrafty doesn't want to battle Medicham, but the other 2 Pokemon, you kind of are ABA weak to it. I don't know how common Scrafty is going to be, though. I don't think it's going to be super common. We'll see. When it comes to Solrock, technically Solrock's not weak to it. Wait, it's Rock's Psychic, right? So, but Psywave is resisted. But still, I mean, Psywave is just such a good move. And then next up, we have Druddigon in the lead with Alomomola and Skeledirge. So let me know what you think of the Love Cup. Let me know what meta you're going to be playing. I'll be playing Love Cup mostly. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing Love Cup because I'm looking forward to this meta. I always love the Love Cup. You know, I always love the Love Cup. Love Valentine's Day. Love the Love Cup. So anyway, that will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.